the number one most important life lesson and overall life skill that I've learned throughout my overall fitness journey into losing 70 plus pounds of fat, guys, was the overall importance of having discipline over motivation. Guys, I can't emphasize this enough, but having discipline is literally has to be the number one most powerful gift that God has given us as humans. Because discipline, guys, I'm looking back, I'm just realizing and reflecting how a lot of things in society would have gotten done if there wasn't discipline, because guys, what I've learned throughout my fitness journey and what I feel like most people who are stuck or are trying to figure out their fitness journey themselves is that having discipline is far more essential, far more powerful, and far more like overall beneficial than having motivation. Because what I've come to realize is that motivation comes and it goes. So for motivation, that could be, starting up the new week, starting up the new year, having a New Year's resolution. Motivation always comes and goes, but having discipline is ultimately the key to success in almost any endeavor, not even just fitness. But that's just one thing I realized, guys, because I'm about to head to work right now. So I woke up at 4:30 this morning just to get my hour of morning cardio in, because I know this needs to get done for me to ultimately get to my goals and get to where I need to go. Because in my own fitness journey, I still got maybe like pounds to lose. So I'm still constantly progressing, constantly doing what I need to do to get the things done. As I was waking up at 4:30, guys, I just realized, damn, not a lot of people in society are doing what I'm doing right now. And that's because I have discipline that most people don't have, or just most people never develop. So, and what's good about discipline is I feel like most people can develop the proper discipline if they commit to it and if they have a purpose. So I feel like people who have a purpose, who have a discipline, can ultimately find success in whatever they want to do. So for me, guys, like I was saying, I woke up at 4:30 this morning, and I've been doing that for about 3 months since the beginning of May. I've been waking up at 4:30 to do my morning cardio. Get done around my morning cardio around 5:30. Take a shower, leave the house around 6 to get to work around 6:30, 7. Go to work for 9 hours. Get off work at 4:30. Then hit my lifting session in the afternoon at 5. Get home. Repeat that cycle every single day for at least 5 to 6 days straight. Because that's usually my workout split, is 5 to 6 day split. So guys, I just wanted to share with you guys that what I've come to realize, and what I feel like what's going to be very, very crucial and beneficial for most people to understand, is that having discipline is literally going to be the most key and pivotal skill. I don't know if we call it a skill, but it's going to be the most important key piece for you guys to really stick through this and really focus on your diet and focus on losing the weight that you want to lose, especially throughout your weight loss journey, especially if you guys trying to lose weight. Because that's something that I've come to realize was really crucial, because there's going to be days where you don't feel like doing this shit. Like there's days I do not feel like waking up at 4:30. No, I feel like most human beings, they don't want to wake up and do this extra work, but it's ultimately discipline that gets me to push me through this time. Because what I've come to realize is having discipline is ultimately just having structure and having a routine and sticking to that routine. Because once you build that routine, you're able to stick through it even on days when you don't feel like doing it, because it just becomes second nature to you at this point. So what I've come to realize for me, guys, is personally that there's days I don't feel like doing it, but my body still ends up waking up and getting the job done, because it's just gotten used to it at this point. So I've just built discipline. So that's ultimately what I've come to realize. Discipline is almost like a muscle. The more you work at it, the more you develop it, the more it just becomes second nature, and the more you can progress and even go even harder and go even further. So that's just one thing I want to really share with you guys, is that having discipline is really like a muscle that you can grow and ultimately develop, and just it could ultimately take you to new heights that you've never even fathomed were possible. So guys, I want you to really focus on building discipline, and ultimately the discipline is ultimately going to come from reflecting on your purpose, really taking some time to realize why you're doing what you're doing. Because I feel like if most people don't have a why, or most people don't know what, like they don't have a direction or like real understanding as to why they're doing what they're doing, it's going to be hard to stick through it. Because guys, this is not something you're going to be doing for 2-3 months. It's going to take like at least 5 to 6 months of consistent dedication. And at that point, if you're able to stick to something for 6 months, it's literally going to become a part of you. And at that point, there's literally no turning back. So even after you, let's say after you're doing this routine for 6 months, you're not going to end up stopping, because it's just a part of you at this point. Trust me, 6 months, guys, of doing something consistent, there's no way you're going to be able to just turn it off and go back to normal at that, because you're just going to be a whole different person just after 6 months of consistent discipline and doing the right thing and doing what you're supposed to do for 6 months. That's what I've come to realize, because I've been doing it. Yeah, I've been doing it for 4 months, but my overall fitness journey, I've always been consistent with my fitness journey for over like a year. But like I said, since May is when I really dialed in on what I needed to get done. And ultimately 3 months, I would say 6 months is really good, but 3 months, if you can stick to something for 3 months, that's even better. So that's actually a great start, obviously. But yeah, ultimately, guys, it's really important to have discipline, because there's gonna be times where you don't feel like doing what you want to do, but the discipline is what's gonna lead you through those times when you feel like giving up, or those times where you just want to just like quit and you don't see results. It just ultimately gonna come down to discipline, because guys, I'm telling you, 95% of people in this society, what I've come to realize, aren't doing what they need to do physically and mentally and just overall health-wise. They're not doing what they need to get done to ultimately be the best version of themselves. Most people I've come to realize are just satisfied being average, and that was something that I realized I did not want to become. And when I first started my fitness journey, it wasn't something that I thought about too much, but what you guys will come to realize is, especially if you're doing this for a while, most people around you are very comfortable doing the basic things and not changing the routines. So it's really important, guys, to understand the importance of having proper discipline. And that only comes from knowing why you're doing what you're doing, like I mentioned earlier, and overall developing those skills, because that'll help you in all aspects, not just fitness, but every other aspects of your life. Having this discipline will literally be a game changer for you. So I wanted to just share that with you guys. Hopefully you guys learned something new.